Let's start from where we left yesterday. Okay, so yesterday we completed the PowerFlex manager deployment and we accessed the URL, right? Then I told you today I'm going to explain about all these concepts, all these options, right? Which is there in the getting started page, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now let's explore one by one. Okay. Now we are inside PowerFlex Manager 5.0. So whenever you open that page, you will be invited with the getting started workflow. Here, the first option is upload compliance file. Okay, that is one of the mandatory activities which you need to perform before we start the deploy resources. Okay, because this is going to control the validated state of the entire environment. So what is validated state? That we need to understand. So in production, PowerFlex is, not just about deploying servers and storage. The real challenge is maintaining the consistency across all nodes. So here, every node must run the supported firmware version, supported BIOS version, then supported drivers, supported ESXi version, then supported network firmware. So everything has to match the Dell validated matrix. That validation information is stored inside what we call intelligent catalog or compliance file. So today morning you asked about the IC download option, right? So IC
Yes, sir.
means intelligent catalog, or that is called as a compliance file. Here we can think about this as a master reference file for the complete environment. The compliance catalog contains the metadata about all supported firmware and supported combination, which Dell has already tested it internally. So instead of administrators manually checking every driver and firmware versions one by one, PowerFlex Manager uses this catalog and it's going to validate the environment completely using this predefined catalog. Now, why this is very important in production? Because production environment continuously change, right? Somebody may manually upgrade BIOS, somebody may update NIC firmware directly from IDRAC, or if you're doing VMware patching, that we can avoid, we cannot avoid, right? If you're doing VMware patching, over a period of time, nodes slowly move away from the validated state. Okay, in that case, we'll face some configuration drift. So here, PowerFlex Manager continuously compares the actual node versions against the compliance catalog. If any node does not match the approved version, the system immediately marks that node as non-compliant. So it will be very useful for operations team. Like we are going to maintain this right as part of operations. So instead of manually auditing hundreds of servers, the system itself tells us which node is out of compliance. That is going to make our task easier in the real-time production support. And not only for the validation, this is also very important during the upgrades. During the lifecycle management operations in PowerFlex Manager, we will push versions which are part of the validated catalog. That means when I say validated catalog, Dell has already tested this in their own lab and they're releasing this catalogs. Okay, so that this helps us to avoid the compatibility issue. Otherwise, what happens in the environment? Someone randomly download the firmware for vendor websites and update servers. Later, cluster instability starts, storage disconnects happen, network issue happen, and troubleshooting becomes very difficult. So PowerFlex tries to avoid completely by providing an validated lifecycle management. So now I'm going to click this here. upload compliance file. Okay. So here you can find, the change option first. Okay. So if I click the change of compliance file window, here we can select the version. So I already uploaded one version. So that is getting displayed here, showing here. Suppose if we have multiple catalog files, then we have the option to choose the latest catalog file, to validate our environment. Okay. So this zip file contains, the firmware, driver versions, BIOS informations that is going to be validated against all those hardware in the PowerFlex environment. Okay. So here you can see default version. If you want to change, you can change it. And how we added this one? By clicking the add button, it is going to take me to that add compliance file page. Here we have two options. One is like support assist. So that is the recommended method when PowerFlex Manager has internet connectivity and Dell support integration configured. Okay. The second option is which we are using here is download from local network path. So this is the most common method, especially in the lab and in restricted production environments where internet access is not available. So here we provide the shared repository path where the intelligent catalog zip file is stored. See, when I say the file path, it can be a normal Windows share location. If you have a gem server with Windows server running on it, create and share, okay, and provide the file path information. So in our lab also, I just created and share location in Windows and I added as the compliance file. And when you provide the file name as path, file path from Windows, for security reasons, we need to provide the username and password to access the network share. After entering the details, we can use test connection to verify whether PowerFlex Manager successfully reached the repository location or not. So at the bottom, we also have an option called make this the default version for compliance checking. Okay. If you are enabling this during import, the newly catalog immediately becomes the active compliance baseline for the environment. Once we click save, PowerFlex Manager imports the catalog and start using it for compliance validation, lifecycle management, and upgrade operations. So it is used for three things: compliance validation, lifecycle management, and for upgrade operations if you are running with older one. Okay. So now using this information, I added intelligent catalog 50.390.0.0. See the location. It is coming from my Windows server 192.168.1.19. Then PowerFlex intelligent catalog with the zip file and signature. It is showing us signed because see nowadays whichever software which is provided by the vendors, that should be digitally signed. Okay, if it is not digitally signed, then there are possibilities that there the file might have some malicious software kind of stuff. So every vendor is doing this signature kind of stuff nowadays. And whenever you are downloading a file, ensure the signature is showing as signed. If it is not showing as signed, then that could be a security issue. Okay. Okay. So this is about adding. Now let's move to that remove option. See, if I click here, I'm getting the remove option. Okay. So we normally use remove when older compliance catalogs are no longer required in the environment. Okay. For example, suppose initially the environment was running intelligent catalog version 50.390. And later, we imported a new version of upgrade and compliance. So after successfully upgrading all nodes and confirming everything is stable, the older catalog becomes unnecessary, right? So at that point, administrators can select the old compliance and click remove to clean it. Okay. This helps avoid confusion between multiple unused catalogs versions and also free repository storage space. Okay. So be careful, not now, because we are going to perform the deployment right now, right? So in that case, you are going to deal with only one intelligent catalog, but in the long run, in production, if any cluster or node is still depending on that catalog,